Great. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. I'm just going to read a statement that helps establish what the No More movement is about and why we're gathered here. This is just a statement to Congress folks, people in the White House, people in Congress that are making U.S. foreign policy. Actually, a congressional advocate was here, stopped by. He reached out a couple of days ago, and I just want to pass on that people in Congress are hearing from us. There are a lot of congressional offices that are being bombarded, is what they said, by calls from the Ethiopian and Eritrean American community. So I just want you guys to stay encouraged, because they don't know what to do, but they know they got to do something. Yeah. So they are hearing us. With that, I will read a prepared statement. So first, we thank everyone here today for taking part in this demonstration to express our collective concerns. We, the peace-loving citizens of the United States, gather here today in front of the White House to make our voices heard concerning the outbreak of war in northern Ethiopia. On August 24th, almost 1 month ago, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, commonly known as TPLF, initiated yet another deadly offensive in northern Ethiopia, shattering a 5-month-long internationally brokered ceasefire between itself and the Ethiopian government. TPLF, which the Department of Homeland Security has registered as a Tier 3 terrorist organization, invaded the Amhara and Afar regions of Ethiopia and committed war crimes against innocent civilians on the basis of their ethnicity. Rather than immediately condemn TPLF for violating the ceasefire, the State Department framed their actions as, quote, renewed hostilities between both sides, refusing to even acknowledge TPLF's offensive when TPLF's own spokesperson himself told the New York Times that it was a full-scale offensive.
The speaker, you blocked the speaker. Not you, Hermela, you were good, the young man.
But that's not all. TPLF, on the very same day of the offensive, raided humanitarian aid warehouses and stole more than 500,000 liters of fuel reserved for preventing famine among the people in the Tigray region, mostly children. The Biden administration gave TPLF a mere slap on the wrist with zero change in actions towards the terrorist group, which is a tacit endorsement of their behavior. Furthermore, TPLF's leaders on multiple occasions openly admitted to conscripting child soldiers, which are now being used as cannon fodder in gruesome human wave warfare tactics. We now have widely circulated images of stolen baby food captured on the battlefield and children marching in columns towards the battlefront awaiting their certain death. The record is here for everyone to see. Thus, we could say with confidence that the U.S. government, through its tacit endorsement of TPLF, is effectively taking food out of the mouths of poor children in the Tigray region and sending those same children to fight their own Ethiopian brothers and sisters. How cruel is this? Even more shocking is the fact that while TPLF was conscripting and preparing children for renewed warfare, what is supposed to be the State Department's top peace negotiator was seen taking arrogantly joyful photos with TPLF leaders in Tigray, while Democratic Party leaders here in Washington, including the Speaker of the House, took similarly cavalier photos with top-ranking TPLF member abroad and Ethiopian fugitive Tedros Adhanom. Yes. All these actions combined have pushed us to the brink. These ongoing, unmitigated, and reckless pro-war, pro-TPLF policies of the Biden administration have brought unnecessary suffering in not only Ethiopia, but also Eritrea and Somalia, which are all longtime victims of TPLF terror. And these policies have now pushed the 140 million people of the Horn of Africa to the very brink. In fact, many of the people gathered here today, naturalized American citizens, fled their homelands as victims of TPLF with the hope that their pursuit of the American dream would be their saving grace. However, these citizens, many of which waved American flags outside their homes, cannot erase from their memory that TPLF instituted state-sanctioned tribalism in Ethiopia installed a puppet clanist government and terrorist group in Somalia, and executed war on the Eritrean people supposedly in the name of a border dispute. The weight of history is too great for the Biden administration to pretend it has amnesia. We refuse to forget the fact that TPLF, by its own admission and by the acknowledgement of the State Department and congressional representatives, initiated this ongoing war by attacking Ethiopia's Northern Command in November 2020, a treasonous act that killed thousands. Shortly after starting the war, TPLF fired missiles on Eritrea. Both countries responded in self-defense. After the Ethiopian government extended an olive branch by issuing a unilateral ceasefire in June of last year, TPLF immediately initiated a second offensive, murdered Tigrayan sympathizers of the federal government, massacred Eritrean refugees, openly allied itself with other terrorist groups, and committed unspeakable crimes against the Ethiopian people, particularly in the Amhara and Afar regions. In spite of all of TPLF's past and current crimes, the Ethiopian government turned the other cheek, considered criticisms of the so-called international community, and left no stone unturned to work towards a negotiated peace settlement with TPLF through a process led by the African Union under the principle of African solutions to African problems.
Yes.
But TPLF has proven to be the enemy of peace not only for the last 3 decades, but more obviously for the last 2 years in which the Biden administration has counterintuitively emboldened TPLF terrorists. To add insult to injury, the Biden administration now seeks to open a new round of negotiations in neighboring countries outside of the established African Union process supported by most Ethiopians and Africans. It scapegoats Eritrea, a peaceful nation towards which some U.S. officials apparently have an inexplicable, quote, grudge against. It blackmails Ethiopia's leaders by threatening to impose sanctions. It censors Twitter accounts of those promoting peace in the Horn of Africa. It sends troops to the region in the name of fighting terror, which paradoxically promotes more terrorism. These unbelievable and shocking actions by the Biden administration have united the entire Horn of Africa, the African diaspora, and peace-loving citizens here in the United States. Therefore, we gather here today to say, no more! No more to the exploitation of Africa, no more disinformation, division, and war used to promote and maintain that exploitation, no more TPLF, no more to its child soldiers, no more terror on Amharas and Afars, no more scapegoating Eritrea, no more puppet clanist governments in Somalia, no more tribalism, clanism, and religious extremism. No more divide and conquer, no more terrorism, no more sanctions, no more gunboat diplomacy, no more interfering in the affairs of sovereign African nations, no more neo-colonialism in Africa.
No more!
No more! No more insulting the intelligence of the African people. No more gaslighting us. No more censorship of African voices. No more racism. So we stand here to say, no more to all of these things. We call on the Biden administration to demand the surrender and total disarmament of TPLF without reservation. Again, we call on the Biden administration to demand the surrender and total disarmament of TPLF without reservation. Without U.S. support, TPLF cannot exist. Their time is up. Their time is up. The people here today are united and will never be defeated. The people here today are united and will never be defeated. We are one people with one heart. We are honest and hardworking American citizens who wish the best for the American people.
Yes.
And all peoples around the world. So to those in Congress, in the White House, to Americans who want to be on the right side of history, we hope you will consider and respect our concerns today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.